I'm going to show you how to create a project on Ventract. Once you've logged into Ventract, it's very simple to create a project. All you need to do is click on this Create a New Project button that looks like a pencil on the left-hand side, and that's going to open up our Create a Project wizard. And we're going to go through these 4 steps and create our project on Ventract. Now, the first thing that we need to do is create a project name. Think of this as the tagline for that project. So we're just going to say 100 new toilets for a new apartment complex. And we'll just take out that first new. The next thing after our project name is to select the category. Now, the category is used to notify or find vendors in the area of that project that may be able to bid on this project. So we're just going to select our category as the plumbing suppliers because I know I'm looking for toilets, and the type of vendor that's going to have that are plumbing suppliers. The next step is to type in the postal code. Again, this is just the basic zip code for that project area. And then we select if we want to do reverse bid or just estimates. Now, we have a little more explanation on this. You can select what's this and read through that. But essentially, if you just want estimates from vendors, you're going to select just estimates. If you're actually going to be executing this project with the vendors that create these bids, you're going to select reverse bid. So we're actually going to be running a reverse bid project here. So once you fill that out, click next. And this is where we're going to start putting in some of the details for our project. All right, so once you create your project description, you have the opportunity to upload and attach any documents or images that you want to coincide with that project. Now, throughout the lifetime of the auction, you're going to be able to upload additional documents or images if vendors request more information. But we think it's a great idea to include as much information at the outset as possible. So if you have any spec documents or price sheets from that may be associated with this project, please include them while you're creating the project. Additionally, any images of the property or the unit in question or anything that will help a vendor understand this project, please include that on the project. So once you've written a simple description, you've attached any documents and included all the images, you can select next. And now we're on step 3. And this is where we're just going to type in the street address for the project. This is helpful for scheduling walkthroughs if that's required. And also, as mentioned before, this is what's used to help source potential vendors. So I'm just going to type in a street address. And then we have square footage. Now, this is optional, but this is another data point that is useful so potential vendors can understand the scale and scope of the project. The next field is estimated cost. You can click on what's this for a full explanation. But the estimated cost is not shown to the vendors. This is used internally by the Ventract system to warn vendors if their bid was way too high or sometimes way too low. Or we can use it to sort of set expectations for finding new vendors and all that sort of stuff internally. So please include an estimated cost. This will help your auctions be more successful. The next step is the bid end date. This is when you want bidding to be closed for this project, meaning you need all the bids in by this date, and then you're going to be able to review those bids and then ultimately approve and select one of those bids. And then for the next one, the project start date that is where you're estimating when you need this project to be started or when the project will actually be starting, sort of just to set expectations all around for here's when the bidding ends and then this is when the project starts. So we're just going to put in some dates and times for that. So we want our bidding to end on February 23rd at noon in the afternoon. And our project actually is not going to start until March 6th. And this gives us a couple weeks to get all the paperwork in place and actually execute that project. So the next option here is privacy. Now this is public or private. If a project is public, that means any Ventrac user can discover this project and review its information and submit a bid if they're interested. Or private, that means it won't be listed publicly on the Ventrac site, and bidders will need to be invited specifically by you guys or by the Ventrac team to bid on that project. I'm going to make this a private auction. And then our last option is to show or hide the lowest bid. This can help set the dynamic of your auction if you want to show or hide the lowest bid. If you're showing the lowest bid, typically that will allow vendors to quickly understand if they're in the same ballpark for that project. So I'm going to select show the lowest bid and hit next. You can see we need to enter the estimated cost. So we're just going to say this, we're looking for 100 toilets. This is a $5,000 estimated cost. And we're going to hit next. The last step is step 4, and this is a summary and a review of all the information we put in. We're just going to make sure that everything looks good to go, and then select Create Project. Once it's created, it will be reviewed by the Ventrac admin team, make sure it has all the proper information. It will be approved, and then vendors will be notified and invited to bid on this project, and you will start receiving questions on the discussion board or start receiving bids. All right, so that's the basics of how to create a Ventrac project. Thanks for watching.